What does she do?
She works as a teacher.
What does she do?
She works as a teacher.
When do they arrive?
They arrive at 5 p.m.
When do they arrive?
They arrive at 5 p.m.
Where does he live?
He lives in New York.
Where does he live?
He lives in New York.
Who helps him?
John helps him.
Who helps him?
John helps him.
How does it work?
It works well.
How does it work?
It works well.
Can she sing?
Yes, she can sing.
Can she sing?
Yes, she can sing.
Should we go?
Yes, we should go.
Should we go?
Yes, we should go.
What does he like?
He likes pizza.
What does he like?
He likes pizza.
When does it start?
It starts at 6 p.m.
When does it start?
It starts at 6 p.m.
Where do we meet?
We meet at the park.
Where do we meet?
We meet at the park.
Who knows him?
Mary knows him.
Who knows him?
Mary knows him.
How do they cook?
They cook with a stove.
How do they cook?
They cook with a stove.
Can we start?
Yes, we can start.
Can we start?
Yes, we can start.
What does she have?
She has a car.
What does she have?
She has a car.
When do they play?
They play on Saturday.
When do they play?
They play on Saturday.
Where does it go?
It goes to the shop.
Where does it go?
It goes to the shop.
Who calls her?
David calls her.
Who calls her?
David calls her.
How does he run?
He runs fast.
How does he run?
He runs fast.
Can she swim?
Yes, she can swim.
Can she swim?
Yes, she can swim.
Should they wait?
Yes, they should wait.
Should they wait?
Yes, they should wait.
What does it mean?
It means happiness.
What does it mean?
It means happiness.
When do we leave?
We leave at 8 a.m.
When do we leave?
We leave at 8 a.m.
Where do they stay?
They stay at the hotel.
Where do they stay?
They stay at the hotel.
Who joins us?
Sarah joins us.
Who joins us?
Sarah joins us.
How do we fix it?
We fix it with a tool.
How do we fix it?
We fix it with a tool.
What do you eat?
I eat an apple.
What do you eat?
I eat an apple.
When does he sleep?
He sleeps at 10 p.m.
When does he sleep?
He sleeps at 10 p.m.
Where do they travel?
They travel to Paris.
Where do they travel?
They travel to Paris.
Who watches TV?
Mark watches TV.
Who watches TV?
Mark watches TV.
How does she write?
She writes neatly.
How does she write?
She writes neatly.
Can we visit?
Yes, we can visit.
Can we visit?
Yes, we can visit.
What does he read?
He reads a book.
What does he read?
He reads a book.
When do they practice?
They practice in the morning.
When do they practice?
They practice in the morning.
Where do you shop?
I shop at the mall.
Where do you shop?
I shop at the mall.
Who visits her?
Mike visits her.
Who visits her?
Mike visits her.
How do they learn?
They learn by doing.
How do they learn?
They learn by doing.
Can she drive?
Yes, she can drive.
Can she drive?
Yes, she can drive.
Should we start?
Yes, we should start.
Should we start?
Yes, we should start.
What does it contain?
It contains sugar.
What does it contain?
It contains sugar.
When do you call?
I call at 3 p.m.
When do you call?
I call at 3 p.m.
Where do they eat?
They eat at the restaurant.
Where do they eat?
They eat at the restaurant.
Who teaches him?
Mrs. Smith teaches him.
Who teaches him?
Mrs. Smith teaches him.
How does she dress?
She dresses elegantly.
How does she dress?
She dresses elegantly.
Can we help?
Yes, we can help.
Can we help?
Yes, we can help.
What does he drink?
He drinks water.
What does he drink?
He drinks water.
When do they study?
They study in the evening.
When do they study?
They study in the evening.
Where do you work?
I work at a bank.
Where do you work?
I work at a bank.
Who greets us?
Paul greets us.
Who greets us?
Paul greets us.
How do they sing?
They sing beautifully.
How do they sing?
They sing beautifully.
Can she paint?
Yes, she can paint.
Can she paint?
Yes, she can paint.
Should they call?
Yes, they should call.
Should they call?
Yes, they should call.
What does it show?
It shows a movie.
What does it show?
It shows a movie.
When do we clean?
We clean on Sunday.
When do we clean?
We clean on Sunday.
Where do they park?
They park in the garage.
Where do they park?
They park in the garage.
Who invites us?
Laura invites us.
Who invites us?
Laura invites us.
How does he answer?
He answers quickly.
How does he answer?
He answers quickly.
Can you drive?
Yes, I can drive.
Can you drive?
Yes, I can drive.
What do you write?
I write a letter.
What do you write?
I write a letter.
When do they swim?
They swim in the afternoon.
When do they swim?
They swim in the afternoon.
Where do you read?
I read in the library.
Where do you read?
I read in the library.
Who drives us?
Tom drives us.
Who drives us?
Tom drives us.
How do they prepare?
They prepare carefully.
How do they prepare?
They prepare carefully.
Can we talk?
Yes, we can talk.
Can we talk?
Yes, we can talk.
What does she eat?
She eats a sandwich.
What does she eat?
She eats a sandwich.
When do they leave?
They leave in the morning.
When do they leave?
They leave in the morning.
Where do we go?
We go to the beach.
Where do we go?
We go to the beach.
Who answers him?
Lisa answers him.
Who answers him?
Lisa answers him.
How does it taste?
It tastes sweet.
How does it taste?
It tastes sweet.
Can she teach?
Yes, she can teach.
Can she teach?
Yes, she can teach.
Should we dance?
Yes, we should dance.
Should we dance?
Yes, we should dance.
What does he cook?
He cooks pasta.
What does he cook?
He cooks pasta.
When do they sing?
They sing at church.
When do they sing?
They sing at church.
Where do you sleep?
I sleep in my bed.
Where do you sleep?
I sleep in my bed.
Who visits him?
Nancy visits him.
Who visits him?
Nancy visits him.
How do they feel?
They feel happy.
How do they feel?
They feel happy.
Can she run?
Yes, she can run.
Can she run?
Yes, she can run.
What does it cost?
It costs $10.
What does it cost?
It costs $10.
When do we finish?
We finish at 4 p.m.
When do we finish?
We finish at 4 p.m.
Where do they play?
They play in the park.
Where do they play?
They play in the park.
Who knows her?
James knows her.
Who knows her?
James knows her.
How do you sleep?
I sleep well.
How do you sleep?
I sleep well.
Can he dance?
Yes, he can dance.
Can he dance?
Yes, he can dance.
Should they stop?
Yes, they should stop.
Should they stop?
Yes, they should stop.
What does it include?
It includes a guide.
What does it include?
It includes a guide.
When do you shop?
I shop on weekends.
When do you shop?
I shop on weekends.
Where do they sleep?
They sleep in the hotel.
Where do they sleep?
They sleep in the hotel.
Who teaches us?
Mr. Brown teaches us.
Who teaches us?
Mr. Brown teaches us.
How do you cook?
I cook with a pan.
How do you cook?
I cook with a pan.
Can he help?
Yes, he can help.
Can he help?
Yes, he can help.
What does she drive?
She drives a car.
What does she drive?
She drives a car.
When do they arrive?
They arrive at noon.
When do they arrive?
They arrive at noon.
Where do you go?
I go to school.
Where do you go?
I go to school.
Who helps her?
Tom helps her.
Who helps her?
Tom helps her.
How does it work?
It works perfectly.
How does it work?
It works perfectly.
Can we sing?
Yes, we can sing.
Can we sing?
Yes, we can sing.
What does he build?
He builds houses.
What does he build?
He builds houses.
When do they come?
They come on Friday.
When do they come?
They come on Friday.
Where do you live?
I live in a house.
Where do you live?
I live in a house.
Who watches him?
Emily watches him.
Who watches him?
Emily watches him.
How do you study?
I study hard.
How do you study?
I study hard.
Can he swim?
Yes, he can swim.
Can he swim?
Yes, he can swim.
Should we stay?
Yes, we should stay.
Should we stay?
Yes, we should stay.
What does it weigh?
It weighs 5 pounds.
What does it weigh?
It weighs 5 pounds.
When do you run?
I run in the morning.
When do you run?
I run in the morning.
Where do they live?
They live in the city.
Where do they live?
They live in the city.
Who helps us?
Jane helps us.
Who helps us?
Jane helps us.
How does she drive?
She drives safely.
How does she drive?
She drives safely.
Can you cook?
Yes, I can cook.
Can you cook?
Yes, I can cook.
What does he buy?
He buys groceries.
What does he buy?
He buys groceries.
When do they sleep?
They sleep at night.
When do they sleep?
They sleep at night.
Where do you travel?
I travel to Italy.
Where do you travel?
I travel to Italy.
Who visits you?
My friend visits me.
Who visits you?
My friend visits me.
How does he talk?
He talks quietly.
How does he talk?
He talks quietly.
Can they play?
Yes, they can play.
Can they play?
Yes, they can play.
What do you watch?
I watch a movie.
What do you watch?
I watch a movie.
When do we start?
We start at 9 a.m.
When do we start?
We start at 9 a.m.
Where do they park?
They park on the street.
Where do they park?
They park on the street.
Who answers us?
John answers us.
Who answers us?
John answers us.
How do you travel?
I travel by car.
How do you travel?
I travel by car.
Can she talk?
Yes, she can talk.
Can she talk?
Yes, she can talk.
Should they help?
Yes, they should help.
Should they help?
Yes, they should help.
What does he need?
He needs help.
What does he need?
He needs help.
When do we meet?
We meet on Monday.
When do we meet?
We meet on Monday.
Where do they study?
They study at school.
Where do they study?
They study at school.
Who visits us?
Anna visits us.
Who visits us?
Anna visits us.
How does she cook?
She cooks well.
How does she cook?
She cooks well.
Can you visit?
Yes, I can visit.
Can you visit?
Yes, I can visit.
What does it show?
It shows a painting.
What does it show?
It shows a painting.
When do they eat?
They eat at 6 p.m.
When do they eat?
They eat at 6 p.m.
Where do you park?
I park in the lot.
Where do you park?
I park in the lot.
Who reads it?
Jane reads it.
Who reads it?
Jane reads it.
How does he learn?
He learns quickly.
How does he learn?
He learns quickly.
Can they visit?
Yes, they can visit.
Can they visit?
Yes, they can visit.
What do you like?
I like music.
What do you like?
I like music.
When do we eat?
We eat at 7 p.m.
When do we eat?
We eat at 7 p.m.
Where do they go?
They go to the gym.
Where do they go?
They go to the gym.
Who teaches you?
Mrs. Lee teaches me.
Who teaches you?
Mrs. Lee teaches me.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
Can she play?
Yes, she can play.
Can she play?
Yes, she can play.
Should he go?
Yes, he should go.
Should he go?
Yes, he should go.
What does it cost?
It costs $15.
What does it cost?
It costs $15.
When do you sleep?
I sleep at 10 p.m.
When do you sleep?
I sleep at 10 p.m.
Where do they walk?
They walk in the park.
Where do they walk?
They walk in the park.
Who greets him?
Sarah greets him.
Who greets him?
Sarah greets him.
How does he work?
He works diligently.
How does he work?
He works diligently.
Can you study?
Yes, I can study.
Can you study?
Yes, I can study.
What do they want?
They want food.
What do they want?
They want food.
When do we talk?
We talk at lunch.
When do we talk?
We talk at lunch.
Where do you run?
I run in the park.
Where do you run?
I run in the park.
Who invites him?
John invites him.
Who invites him?
John invites him.
How does it end?
It ends well.
How does it end?
It ends well.
Can they learn?
Yes, they can learn.
Can they learn?
Yes, they can learn.
What do you think?
I think it's great.
What do you think?
I think it's great.
When do we leave?
We leave at 5 p.m.
When do we leave?
We leave at 5 p.m.
Where do they eat?
They eat at a restaurant.
Where do they eat?
They eat at a restaurant.
Who watches her?
Paul watches her.
Who watches her?
Paul watches her.
How do you play?
I play well.
How do you play?
I play well.
Can we leave?
Yes, we can leave.
Can we leave?
Yes, we can leave.
Should you read?
Yes, I should read.
Should you read?
Yes, I should read.
What does he say?
He says hello.
What does he say?
He says hello.
When do you arrive?
I arrive at 8 a.m.
When do you arrive?
I arrive at 8 a.m.
Where do they go?
They go to the park.
Where do they go?
They go to the park.
Who helps you?
Lucy helps me.
Who helps you?
Lucy helps me.
How does he eat?
He eats quickly.
How does he eat?
He eats quickly.
Can they swim?
Yes, they can swim.
Can they swim?
Yes, they can swim.
Should he call?
Yes, he should call.
Should he call?
Yes, he should call.
What does she need?
She needs a pencil.
What does she need?
She needs a pencil.
When do they travel?
They travel in summer.
When do they travel?
They travel in summer.
Where do you live?
I live in the country.
Where do you live?
I live in the country.
Who reads it?
Mary reads it.
Who reads it?
Mary reads it.
How do they study?
They study quietly.
How do they study?
They study quietly.
Can she write?
Yes, she can write.
Can she write?
Yes, she can write.
What do we eat?
We eat breakfast.
What do we eat?
We eat breakfast.
When do you walk?
I walk in the evening.
When do you walk?
I walk in the evening.
Where do they play?
They play in the yard.
Where do they play?
They play in the yard.
Who visits her?
Kate visits her.
Who visits her?
Kate visits her.
How does it feel?
It feels soft.
How does it feel?
It feels soft.
What does she do?
She works as a teacher.
What does she do?
She works as a teacher.
When do they arrive?
They arrive at 5 p.m.
When do they arrive?
They arrive at 5 p.m.
Where does he live?
He lives in New York.
Where does he live?
He lives in New York.
Who helps him?
John helps him.
Who helps him?
John helps him.
How do they cook?
They cook well.
How do they cook?
They cook well.
Can she sing?
Yes, she can sing.
Can she sing?
Yes, she can sing.
What do you do?
I work as a doctor.
What do you do?
I work as a doctor.
When does he come?
He comes at 6 a.m.
When does he come?
He comes at 6 a.m.
Where do they study?
They study at home.
Where do they study?
They study at home.
Who visits her?
Mary visits her.
Who visits her?
Mary visits her.
How does it work?
It works well.
How does it work?
It works well.
Can he drive?
Yes, he can drive.
Can he drive?
Yes, he can drive.
What do they eat?
They eat vegetables.
What do they eat?
They eat vegetables.
When does she leave?
She leaves at 7 p.m.
When does she leave?
She leaves at 7 p.m.
Where do you go?
I go to the gym.
Where do you go?
I go to the gym.
Who knows him?
Lisa knows him.
Who knows him?
Lisa knows him.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Can they dance?
Yes, they can dance.
Can they dance?
Yes, they can dance.
What does she like?
She likes reading.
What does she like?
She likes reading.
When do we start?
We start at 8 a.m.
When do we start?
We start at 8 a.m.
Where does it hurt?
It hurts here.
Where does it hurt?
It hurts here.
Who visits you?
Tom visits me.
Who visits you?
Tom visits me.
How does he study?
He studies hard.
How does he study?
He studies hard.
Can you help?
Yes, I can help.
Can you help?
Yes, I can help.
What do we need?
We need water.
What do we need?
We need water.
When do they leave?
They leave at noon.
When do they leave?
They leave at noon.
Where does she work?
She works at a hospital.
Where does she work?
She works at a hospital.
Who loves her?
Jake loves her.
Who loves her?
Jake loves her.
How do you cook?
I cook slowly.
How do you cook?
I cook slowly.
Can he come?
Yes, he can come.
Can he come?
Yes, he can come.
What do you see?
I see a bird.
What do you see?
I see a bird.
When does it arrive?
It arrives at 10 a.m.
When does it arrive?
It arrives at 10 a.m.
Where do we meet?
We meet at the park.
Where do we meet?
We meet at the park.
Who calls you?
Sarah calls me.
Who calls you?
Sarah calls me.
How does she learn?
She learns quickly.
How does she learn?
She learns quickly.
Can they come?
Yes, they can come.
Can they come?
Yes, they can come.
What do you drink?
I drink coffee.
What do you drink?
I drink coffee.
When does he sleep?
He sleeps at 10 p.m.
When does he sleep?
He sleeps at 10 p.m.
Where do you work?
I work at an office.
Where do you work?
I work at an office.
Who visits them?
Alice visits them.
Who visits them?
Alice visits them.
How does it feel?
It feels good.
How does it feel?
It feels good.
Can we stay?
Yes, we can stay.
Can we stay?
Yes, we can stay.
What do they do?
They play soccer.
What do they do?
They play soccer.
When do you go?
I go at 3 p.m.
When do you go?
I go at 3 p.m.